Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson is the world's most famous astrophysicist, trying to make the most complex out-of-this-world ideas easier to understand. And now he's on a mission to bring the outer space to Australia.
It just takes a little while to explain.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
All right.
I have time.
You have time.
From humble beginnings...
I always said I was from the Bronx, but people in Riverdale always said they're from Riverdale because it's a swankier part of the Bronx.
Now reaching for the stars.
You don't know the answer to that. Hey, you're an astrophysicist.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is always blowing our minds.
That you can recreate every single neurosynaptic thought you could have, but now you're in the simulation on the computer.
A staple of podcasts and TV.
All stars will burn out. They will shut off in the night sky one by one.
And sellout crowds.
Welcome to the Hall of the Universe.
And now he's heading down under.
I'm going to talk about space telescopes.
See you later. Yes, prepare to get starstruck, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes! There he is!
Hello, Neil.
Legend!
How exciting. And he's coming down under too, Neil. Appreciate your time. We'll talk more about that trip to us very soon, but let's talk about what we don't know, and that's aliens. Are you a believer?
I think we look in the universe, there's got to be, it's large and it's old, and we are made of ingredients that are the most common ingredients in the universe. So the possibility of life elsewhere, it's got to be pretty high, which is a different question from asking whether they've come to visit restricted government airspace in the United States.
Oh, well, answer that question for us, Neil.
like that.
Have they?
I just know that there's 6 billion smartphones in the world that are capable of taking high-resolution photos and video. And at any given moment, there's 1 million people airborne.
Yes.
With a whole window right to their side.
Yep.
So I'm just thinking if there was an alien invasion, we would not need congressional hearings to establish that fact.
Good point.
I mean, yes, logic would suggest such a thing, Neil. Very good. But let's be, when we think about the universe, as you said, we're such a tiny little speck in this big, great big universe of ours. Is there anything out there that scares you?
The universe doesn't scare me. I don't invest that kind of emotion in it. What does scare me is the inability of people, our species, to heed the warnings of scientists when they come. There's a placard, and a couple of years ago, we had a March for Science on Washington, D.C., all right? And first, one placard said, you should be worried when the geeks start marching for science. There's some problem there. But one of them was every disaster movie begins with government agents not believing the warnings of scientists. So that's what scares me, that we lack the wisdom and the foresight to heed the warnings by people who study the things that could end up ending civilization.
It's so true about every movie starting like that.
Yeah, it does too. Contagion
Just
was another one.
some bloke spotting something on a computer in some office in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. With space, we see the space race between all the big countries flexing their muscles. And then you get guys like Richard Branson, who's, and Elon Musk wanted to send people and themselves into space. Do you have plans to head up there?
Why not?
Really?
No, because I'm an astrophysicist, and so I want more than just to boldly go where hundreds have gone before. and let me just show you. I got right here.
Oh,
I got it.
Imagine the toys that are in that office.
I got Earth. Do you realize that Elon Musk and those guys, when they go into, they're like 1 centimeter above Earth's surface.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
it.
That's it.
And so when they say, do I want to go into space? Yeah, send me to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Not just for joyride above Earth's surface.
If you're going to do it right.
Yes, that's how you got to do it.
Well, speaking of Mars, Neil, do you reckon humans will ever colonise?
Only if there's a geopolitical reason to do it. But I can imagine if you try to make a business case out of it, that could be very tentative. Picture this. There's Elon Musk. He has venture capitalists in, and they say, Elon, what do you want to do? Put people on Mars. How much will it cost? A lot. How much? About $1 trillion. Is it dangerous? Yes. Will people die? Probably. What's the return on that investment? I don't know. I can't think of any. That's a 5-minute long meeting. Okay. So generally, we do these big, expensive things first if there's a geopolitical cause for it. And when we went to the moon in the 1960s, it wasn't because we're explorers, we're American. No, because we were scared of the Soviet Union. And by the time we got to the moon and we looked around and they weren't there, we stopped going to the moon. Let's be honest about when we actually put people into space and the history of that exercise.
I love that you've chosen to come to Australia instead of space. It's brilliant just to know that we're feeling the love this morning. What can we expect for your visit here?
Oh, so there's like 6 cities on the continent. There's 2 in New Zealand. I think I'm going up to Singapore after. So I'm bathing in the Southern Hemisphere in this next month. And in each of the cities, it's a full venue. And I'll be talking about cosmic perspectives on civilization. Things that we dig our heels in and think we've properly argued. And you look at it and say, hey, no, think about this another way. And I'm reminded of a quote. How much time you have? You got to hear this quote.
Oh, no, we want to hear it.
Apollo 14 astronaut, right? He went to the moon, saw Earth. Here's what he said in an interview when he got back. You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck and drag him 250,000 miles out and say, look at that, you son of a bitch.
Neil, you are cheeky this morning.
You're on fire.
That was Edgar Mitchell. I didn't say that. That was an astronaut.
It's just a quote.
Exactly, nothing wrong with that.
I'm so glad you're coming out here.
Neil, you have filled our cups this morning. You are so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. What a treat to have you on.
I look forward to this immensely. Thank you very much.
Can't wait to have you out here.
That's just brilliant. And he's outdone too, Taylor.
Yep.
Brushing cities here. He's just bathing in the love of Australia, he says.
I could just listen to him all day.
Very cool.
All right, well, still ahead. Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my God. Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
That never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?